Okay, let's dive into this. You know that one person who never really talks about money, doesn't drive a flashy car, but somehow the cash is just always there? They're living totally stress-free. Well, their secret is probably a business that sounds, honestly, incredibly boring. In this explainer, we're going to uncover how everyday people are building massive, unseen wealth through totally unglamorous businesses. We're talking about models that 99% of people completely ignore just because they don't look cool on social media. But as you're going to see, that exact lack of glamour, that is the secret sauce.
Check this out, 94.8%. That is the 5-year survival rate of laundromats in the United States. Crazy, right? Out of 100 people who open one, almost 95 of them are still going strong 5 years later. Now, put that next to the overall business average, where nearly half of all businesses, yeah, including all those super flashy tech startups, just totally flame out in that exact same time frame. It really proves a huge point right off the bat. Boring, consistent execution is going to beat an innovative tech startup almost every single time.
So, what does this all mean? Well, this quote by Thomas Stanley from his book The Millionaire Next Door really hits the nail on the head. He says, most millionaires own businesses that solve simple, everyday problems that never go away. And that's the absolute truth. The secret to real financial freedom isn't about perfectly timing the stock market or holding out for a booming economy. It's about focusing on those everyday, completely mundane problems that demand constant solutions. I mean, think about it. People are always going to need to wash their clothes, take out the trash, and fix broken stuff, no matter what the economy is up to.
Section 1. Passive and recurring income. Set it and collect.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Let's look at some businesses that generate highly predictable money with very little daily babysitting. Look at these 3 absolute titans. Laundromats, that's a $5 billion industry with crazy 50% margins, mostly because clothes literally get dirty on their own, and 90% of those customers keep coming back. Then you've got automated car washes, sitting at a $15 billion valuation. The secret sauce there is totally in the membership model. People just pay a flat monthly fee to wash their cars, rain or shine. Very predictable. And finally, self-storage. This one is a staggering $45 billion market. But the wildest part? The average stay is 14.5 months. People literally just forget what they packed away in those units, but they keep paying that bill month after month.
Now you might be thinking, okay, but I don't have the cash to build a giant automated car wash, and that is totally fine. Just look at how accessible these low-entry models are. Vending machines, for instance, you can get going for under $10,000. And if you lean into specialty niches, think beauty products and salons or even bait down by the fishing pier, the margins get incredible. Then there are ice machines. They run about $35,000 to start, but they literally pay for themselves in 12 to 18 months just by freezing water. No joke. And ATMs? That's just a $2,000 to $3,000 investment that passively rakes in transaction fees. You can make a massive income just by negotiating a little bit of space in strategic spots like a gym or a hotel, and then you just scale up the number of machines you own.
Section 2. Low cost, high reward. Getting your hands dirty. For this next category, we're going to have to set our pride aside for a minute because these models have unbelievably low barriers to entry. Let's rapid fire through these environmental and waste services because the numbers are just staggering. Trash hauling, that runs on auto-renewing contracts. Pest control boasts a massive 85% recurring revenue rate. Scrap metal lets you literally cash in on highly demanded urban ore from thrown-out electronics. Portable restrooms, yeah, porta potties, can rent for $75 to $175 every single day. And pet waste removal? Listen, if you have absolutely no misplaced pride, cleaning up after dogs for just 100 clients can net you $96,000 a year. You literally just need a bag and a scooper. Having zero ego about doing these unglamorous tasks translates directly into serious, consistent cash in your pocket.
That exact same principle applies to maintenance and cleaning. Just take a second and reflect on what your own neighborhood needs. Pressure washing can easily pull in $200 to $500 a job. Mobile auto detailing, that can net $450 up to $1,600 a day, right in the customer's driveway. Pool cleaning offers year-round, route-based pay. And parking lot striping, every single shopping center needs it done by law, and you can bring in $500 to $2,000 in one afternoon. Because these are highly visible, localized services, they need virtually zero advertising. Seriously, you clean one driveway, the neighbors see the amazing results, and boom, your phone is ringing. The work totally speaks for itself.
But, okay, to really crush it here, we need to slow down for a second and talk about a totally crucial mindset pivot. Let's use landscaping as our prime example. Step 1, do the work. Step 2, systemize. Step 3, hire and manage. The problem? A lot of folks get permanently stuck on step 1. They keep charging like an employee and usually cap out at maybe $40,000 a year. If you want to stop making $40,000 as an employee and start making $200,000 as a business owner, you have got to make this fundamental mental shift. Stop being the one who mows the lawn and become the person who systemizes everything and manages the people who do the mowing.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how easily you can build a solid competitive moat in specialized business-to-business services. Commercial cleaning offers these highly lucrative auto-renewing office contracts. Appliance repair is super fascinating right now because the current workforce is rapidly aging out and retiring. That means your competition is actively dropping while demand stays sky high. And honestly, you can learn the basics just by watching a few YouTube repair tutorials. And in Notary Public, you can start that for like $50 to $150. And if you happen to speak a second language, you instantly unlock a massive bilingual advantage in real estate closings that most other notaries just simply cannot access.
Section 3. The Convenience Economy. Bridging the Gap.
So this 20th and most powerful model relies entirely on a massive cultural shift we're seeing. Modern consumers are more than willing to pay extra simply to avoid doing chores. To really grasp this, let's look at author Walker Deibel's concept of an acquisition business. Basically, this means taking an existing business model and adding immense value or convenience to it rather than trying to invent the wheel all over again. You absolutely do not need some crazy disruptive innovation to get rich. You just need to improve access to things people already need anyway. Let's see what that concept looks like in action with a wash and fold delivery service. You are quite literally bridging the gap between the customer and the laundromat. Remember that highly successful laundromat from the very beginning of this explainer? Well, you don't even need to own it. You simply partner up with an existing laundromat, offer to handle all the pickup and delivery logistics for their customers, and you keep a 30 to 40% margin. It's brilliant. You have absolutely zero equipment investment, but you perfectly combine that sweet reoccurring income with the ultimate modern convenience.
Section 4. The Tale of Two Mindsets. Daniel versus Alex.
Because, look, knowing all of this means absolutely nothing without action. So let's slow the pace down a bit and look at the emotional climax of this explainer. We have two 42-year-old guys, both making the exact same $55,000 a year salary, but they take wildly different paths. Over on the left, we've got Daniel. Now, Daniel suffers from some major paralysis by analysis. He's been waiting around for the perfect, Instagram-worthy business idea to just hit him. And while waiting over the last 5 years, he has blown $36,000 on unused subscriptions and dining out. Then, on the right, there's Alex. Alex spent $3,500 on a pressure washer and $30 on some business cards. He literally knocked on doors in his neighborhood, even when his hands were shaking from nerves, and he just got started. Today, 3 years later, Alex is billing over $180,000 a year. Daniel wasted the exact amount of money it would have cost to buy an automated car wash or 10 vending machines, and he has literally nothing to show for it.
But you know, Alex's real success isn't just that $180,000 monetary figure. It's actually this phrase right here. True wealth is the absence of fear. It is the peace of mind knowing that his boring, mundane business can completely sustain him through any unexpected layoff or emergency. He has built a rock-solid foundation that holds him up no matter what happens.
And honestly, that is exactly why boring always wins. Just look at the fundamental truths of life. Clothes get dirty, cars get dirty, pests come back, trash piles up, appliances break down. These everyday mundane problems are completely recession-proof. They are happening right now in your city, and they guarantee a constant, never-ending demand for whoever's willing to step up and solve them.
And here's the best part. You do not need a massive team to do this. It's amazing when you break down the 36 million small businesses in the US right now. 82% of them are operated by a single person. 82%. According to SBA data, we're seeing record growth projections leading right into 2026. Millions of people are already out there succeeding solo. They aren't asking for permission, they don't have fancy angel investors, and they sure don't need a tech degree. They just took what they had, got their hands dirty, and started working for themselves.
Which brings us to our final thought. The data clearly proves that achieving real financial freedom through these forgotten businesses is entirely possible. The question isn't whether it's possible. The question is, how much longer are you going to wait? Seriously, stop waiting around for that perfect, glamorous, influencer-approved idea. Look around your own neighborhood, find a totally boring problem, and start building your unseen wealth today.